I want you to think about the last time you sat down to write something hard. Might have been a strategic plan or an annual plan, perhaps a sensitive email to a parent, or even a job application. And you stared at the blank page. You knew what you wanted to say, the thinking was there, but getting it out of your head and onto that page with the right tone, the right structure, and the right words took everything you had and probably most of your evening or multiple evenings. Now, imagine having a thinking partner available any time of day or night. Someone who never gets tired, never judges you, never gossips, and will draft, redraft, analyse, brainstorm, and reflect with you for as long as you need. That's what AI can be for school leaders. Not a replacement for your judgment, a thinking partner that lifts the cognitive load so you can focus on the parts of leadership that actually need you. Welcome to Trailblazing Schools, the podcast for educational leaders at the intersection of leadership, complexity, and intelligent technology. I'm Trudy Graham. This is a space for leaders navigating uncharted territory. We explore strategic leadership, ethical innovation, and how AI can strengthen the deeply human work of education. Today, I want to share my own AI story because it started with a moment of curiosity, definitely not a plan, and I wanted to show you, if you've already started using AI a little, what the next level looks like. What I've observed over the years of working with school leaders, that the cognitive load of leadership is immense. You're not just making decisions, you're making dozens of decisions a day across every domain. Curriculum, staffing, community, compliance, well-being, finance, all of it, often simultaneously, and it's complex. And so much of your time goes to the work of getting things out of your head and into a form that other people can use. Writing the plan, drafting the communication, structuring the document, framing the feedback. That's not leadership. That's administration of leadership, and it's eating your time. The principals I work with are extraordinary leaders, but they are drowning in the administrative weight of their role. They're writing newsletters in the evening, they're drafting their annual plan on a Sunday, they're spending a full day or more on strategic planning that AI could scaffold in an hour. And most of them have tried AI for report cards and maybe a quick email, and they know it can help, but they haven't made the leap to using it as a proper thinking partner for their leadership work. That's the gap I want to close. I'm going to take you back to Easter 2023. It's a couple of months after OpenAI has released ChatGPT to the world, and I was playing around. And I want to be honest about the word playing. I wasn't doing research, and I didn't have a plan for any of this. I was just curious. And I put my teacher hat on, pretending I was teaching Year 4 for the following term, and I asked ChatGPT to plan an English unit aligned to the Australian curriculum. What it produced, oh my goodness. The unit was structured, it was curriculum aligned, I could make differentiated lessons, I could make it practical, it had lesson sequences, success criteria, assessment ideas, in minutes, things that would have taken me hours. In fact, it takes teachers hours. They tell me so. And my immediate thought wasn't, this is going to change education. It was, I have to share this. Teachers need to see this right now. So I took screenshots and I posted them into an Australian primary teacher Facebook group or two over the Easter break. And those posts, well, they went crazy. Within hours, I had hundreds of comments. People were sending me personal messages, educators from across Australia wanting to know what I'd done and how to get started. And honestly, I couldn't keep up. So I created a Facebook group. It was a space where I could bring everyone together and we could learn from each other, share what we were discovering. And that group now has over 14,500 members. And it all started because I was playing with the tool over Easter and couldn't keep the excitement to myself. Now, the second part of the story, and this is the one that changed everything for how I work with school leaders. Fast forward about a year, I'd started my first Leaders Learning Circle with a small group of teaching principals, and one of them asked me to help her with her school strategic plan. Now, I know strategic planning well. I've done it routinely as a system leader, the old school way: sticky notes, cutting up reports, blue tack, trying to align it all together. But now I found myself wondering, what would AI do with this? So I uploaded her school's review report into ChatGPT, the actual document, and the findings and the improvement strategies. And I gave it context about the school, and I asked it to draft a strategic plan informed by the review. And honestly, oh my goodness, what came back was extraordinary. It had read the improvement strategies, understood the priorities, and structured a plan with headings that matched her preferred template. Something that would have taken days of thinking and drafting was scaffolded in under an hour. I shared what I'd found with that first group of principals, and the energy, the excitement, the curiosity, wait, show me how you did that. That was immediate. And that's the moment I knew I had to stop holding back, because it wasn't me deciding AI mattered. It was them showing me. Their energy and excitement was my sign. If this is what it does for school leaders, I need to lean in and help them access it properly. And that's exactly what I've done. AI masterclasses are now embedded in all of my leadership programs: the Leaders Learning Circle and the Leaders Learning Collective for small schools, and my Trailblazing Schools program for medium to large schools with leadership teams, because this isn't a nice to have. For school leaders, managing the complexity of the role, it's a genuine game changer. Actually, it's life-changing. You get your Sundays back. If you see yourself as a trailblazer and you're looking for structured, strategic support to lead with clarity and conviction, visit trudygraham.com.au/connect. That's where leaders begin the conversation about working together. I'd welcome the opportunity to partner with you. So I want to be clear about what I mean when I say AI is a thinking partner, because I think there are some misconceptions worth naming. First, what AI is not. It's not magic, and it's not faultless. It doesn't know your school, your community, your staff, or your context unless you tell it. The output is only as good as what you put in. As one of the teaching principals I work with put it perfectly, AI is only as good as what you give it. Your knowledge and judgment remain essential. AI amplifies them, it doesn't replace them. What AI is for school leaders is a thinking partner that's available late at night when your brain is empty and the document is still blank. It's a first drafter, a sounding board, a tool that takes the raw material of your knowledge and helps you shape it into something polished and useful, far faster than you could do alone. Let me show you what this looks like in practice. One teaching principal I work with used AI across multiple major deliverables for her school's 150th anniversary celebrations. Her school's historian had pulled out at the last minute, so she stepped in. She uploaded 25 years of school newsletters and got AI to read and summarise them, writing the last chapter of the school's history without having to do the research herself. From there, she used AI to write a 15-minute anniversary play for her 27 students, with every child having a speaking part. Half an hour of prompting. The parents were convinced she'd written it herself. She told me, and I love this, Writing the prompt is good enough. And then with the community school tour coming up for the same event, she gave AI everything it needed to know about the school and asked it to script a 30-minute guided tour, stopping at key sites, covering the history. 5 minutes. Done. Scripted, ready for the walk. 3 major community deliverables. AI made them all possible. Now, a second teaching principle, she used AI for her school strategic plan, like we've talked about. She uploaded her school review report, the actual document with findings and improvement strategies, and asked AI to draft a plan that responded to those improvement strategies, structured around her preferred template. With only 2 priorities per year, it split the plan into 4 one-year stages, progressively building across the cycle. She went from a blank document to a working draft in under an hour, ready for consultation with staff and her community. A third teaching principal used it for report card comments. She gave the AI the achievement standard elements covered that semester, a brief description of how each child had performed, letting it produce polished comments that she then refined. The cognitive load of finding the right words for every student, every subject, lifted almost entirely. And the common thread across all of these, they all started with a simple prompt. They all built on what they already knew, and they all got back time. Time for parts of leadership that genuinely need a human. So, here's the question. What's the one task on your leadership plate right now that you dread starting? The blank page, the hard draft, the document you keep putting off, because that is exactly where AI should be your first call, not your last resort. And here's your next step, and I want to make it as practical and low risk as possible. This week, I want you to take one leadership task, something you've been putting off or something coming up that you'd normally spend hours on, and give it to AI first. Open ChatGPT or Copilot or whatever tool you use and start your prompt with context. Tell it who you are, what you need. For example, I'm the principal of a small rural primary school with 45 students from prep to year 6. I needed to draft a letter to parents explaining our new approach to homework. The tone should be warm and clear, and it should be no longer than 1 page. The more context you give it, the better the output. Tell it your school's context, tell it the audience, tell it the tone, tell it any constraints. And if the first response isn't quite right, don't give up. It's not failure, that's the conversation. Push back on the AI. Tell it it's too formal, or can you make the second paragraph shorter? It will adjust, and keep going until it's more right. If you want to go further, try uploading a document, your school review report, your previous annual plan, a newsletter from the term. Give it something to read and respond to. That's where it gets genuinely powerful for leadership work. And if you want to see what's possible beyond where you are now, I've put together a free resource called AI in Action, Field Notes from School Leaders. It has more than 20 real examples of how school leaders across Australia are using AI in their work, all mapped to the AITSL professional standards. It's practical, grounded in real practice, and it will show you exactly what your next move could be. There's a link in the show notes to download it, and it's completely free. Now, let's go back to the start. The blank page, the hard document, the thing you know you need to write, but keeps getting pushed to the weekend or the evening or the school holidays. You don't have to start from scratch anymore. You have a thinking partner, one that's available right now that knows as much as you tell it, and that will draft, redraft, and refine with you until it's done. The cognitive load you're carrying as a school leader is real. AI won't take the leadership from you, but it can give you back the time and energy to actually lead. And that, more than any feature or function, is why I think every school leader needs to be using this. Not someday, now. Until next time, take care. You've been listening to Trailblazing Schools with me, Trudy Graham. If this episode brought someone to mind, share it with them. You'll find further reflections, practical resources and leadership tools in the show notes. Until next time, lead with courage, seek clarity and keep trailblazing.